Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back. Today in this video, we'll be talking about some advanced concepts of HTML. Specifically, we'll be talking about some HTML semantic elements which were introduced in HTML5. These HTML semantic elements are nothing but which gives meaning for both developers and the user. Suppose when I am seeing my code, I can easily make out where is the header section, where is the footer section, where is the main content, where is the navigation, and all that things will be using these semantic elements. We can easily add meaning, add more structure to our web page. So without further ado, let's start learning about these semantic elements. For that, inside our HTML folder, I'll be creating a new text edit. Inside our HTML, I'll be creating a new document and I will be saving it as HTML semantics.html. Alright, now let's save this. Use the extension .html. Okay, and let's also open up this in my Google Chrome. Now let's define our basic structure of our HTML. That is what we need right now. That's going to be a starter template which we need to define every time we want to create an HTML web page. So inside our head, let's define head. Inside this head, we're going to have our title. Let's say HTML semantics. Let's close up our title tag. Now inside our body, we'll be talking about our very first HTML semantic element. So the first one which I will be defining about is navigation. Every website will be having a navigation. For example, in every website you visit, you will be seeing, for example, in our, let's open up my website, futurecodasweb.com. If you don't know, this is my website where I write articles. You can also find a source code of all the projects which I build on this project. As you can see, there we have our navigation. As you can see, this is called a navigation bar. So to define it, we can use HTML semantic. There is an HTML semantic element that is called as nav. Let's close up the nav. So inside the nav, we can define UL, an unordered list. Let's say inside we'll be having a list item. Let's close up the list item. Inside this list item, let's add an anchor link anchor tag. Ref. Let's say we had a page called as home.html. And for the anchor text, we'll be defining as home. Let's close up the anchor tag. Similarly, let's also add two more links. This is going to be for about.html. Let's name it as about. This is for contact. Let's rename the page as contact.html. These pages doesn't exist. Let's suppose that they exist for now. So as you can see, when I see this code, I can clearly make out that this is where my navigation lies, right? Whenever a developer sees, he's going to easily make up and say that this is the navigation. All right, now let's save this and check. As you can see, you won't be seeing any difference between normal. If you use just the UL tag, for example, let's remove this navigation. Let's refresh. As you can see, there is no change at all. When I add this navigation, as you can see, it still stays the same. But why should we use the semantic elements? That's because we need to increase the code visibility. That's why these semantic elements were introduced. By saying this, I can easily make out this is where my navigation lies, right? So that's That's the main concept behind introducing semantic elements. The next semantic element which we will be using here is main section. For example, here I can say main. This basically means that this is where our main content actually lies. Here I can add, let's say, let's introduce another semantic element here. I hope you got the point regarding the main. This is where our main content actually lies. For example, if we had an article on our website, we can say like we can use a semantic element called as article, and we can inside we can write our article. Let's say I will just add a paragraph for now. Let's say this is my article. As you can see, whenever the user or a developer sees your code, he can easily make out that this is a main and this is where our article. We can have multiple articles. Was the first article, this is the second article, this is the third article. So that's how we can like use our article. Semantic element, sorry. Okay. For example, inside our article we can have various sections, right? Every article will be having a top section which is going to be the introduction section, that's going to be called as a header section, and it's also going to have a footer section, which means that the author will be adding some conclusion which he will be concluding in the article. We can also add that inside that article. I'll be defining a header. Let's say this inside this header will be having an s2 tag. This is the title of the article. Let's close up our s2, and right after this the developer can add an article here. Let's say let's add some gibberish. Let's say this was our article. Now let's close this. Let's save this and check. As you can see, it doesn't make changes to the web page. What it does is it adds meaning to our website, right? So inside, once we are done with the header, we can inside the article, the same article can have a main section, right? This is where the main article content lies in. Let me just remove this article. It might be like confusing you a bit. Okay, I actually removed the article as well. So this was the first article. All right, let me just remove this. So inside the main section, I can have like main article text, right? So once this article is concluded, once the author wants to conclude, he can use a footer. This is also a semantic element which we can use. Here he might add actually conclusion, right? So hope you got the point about how these semantic elements can be used, right? I actually remove the main element as well. Let's add it back. All right. As you can see, you can clearly make out that this is the main section. This is one article. Inside this article, the article has a header section, and it has a main section, and it has a footer section, right? And let's also discuss about some more semantic elements. Let's remove this for now. All right. Now let's talk about a section semantic element. It can also have a section, different sections. For example, we can have a section for let's say home art, let's say JavaScript articles. This is a section for JavaScript article. Let's add it here. And let's copy this section again. Now this is the section for HTML articles. Now let's add one more, guys. This is a section for CSS. As you can see, we can structure our website and divide it into various sections. This doesn't actually make any changes. As you can see, it displays the content as usual. So it helps you understand the code better, right? Now let's talk about one more. Let's talk about figure and figure caption. Let's say we have a figure tag. Okay. Inside this figure tag, let's define an img tag. The source is going to be our HTML logo.png, which is inside the same directory, I guess. Let's define the alt attribute as HTML logo. Let's define the width as 100 pixels. Let's also add the height to 100 pixels. Let's close up our HTML. Let's close up our img tag. Right after this img tag, we can have a figure caption, which is defined using fig caption. In Instagram, you might like when you upload an image, you also add a figure caption, right? So it works similar to that. Let's also fig caption. Here I will say HTML. This is HTML logo. Let's save it. As you can see, there we have our image and there we have our fig caption. This is how we can use figure as a semantic element to add meaning to our images. So we also have one more semantic element that is called as an aside. Suppose if you want to like define something like which is going to be in the side of the website, for example in the right side of the website, you can say aside. Inside the aside, you can say, let's say on the right side you want to display various categories. Here I will say and paragraph tag. And I refresh. As you can see, there we have our categories. Adding aside doesn't mean that it automatically it will add to the right side. It just means that this is a HTML semantic element, meaning it should be on the side of the website. So it depends on how you use it, how you give meaning to it. All right, these were some HTML semantic elements. Hope you got the point, like what they are used for, what they are. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys learned something about HTML semantic elements. So if you haven't liked the video, please make sure you like the video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In the next video, we'll be talking about some more advanced concepts of HTML. So right after that video, we'll be building our portfolio project. So stay tuned and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.